I just got out of the shower and I'm finally in my office ready to do a little bit of sewing as the lining to the strawberry tote. So this is my office. And I'm worried that everyone here wants what I want. This stack is so exciting. How I clean my sewing machine. I have this travel case, this dog fabric. Last night I started sewing a new tote bag for me. I rarely sew for myself anymore since starting ReSpun, but I am out of my little ReSpun labels. So it's not really like I can sew anything for ReSpun right now because I can't put my label on it. So I'm sewing for myself and I'm making my own little strawberry patchwork bag. I've been really wanting to make my own strawberry patchwork bag. This is a vintage Concord fabric that I just adore. It's like one of my favorite strawberry fabrics. This is one of the first patchwork tote bags I ever made and I use it all the time. I get compliments on it like every single time I have it out and I'm just ready for a little upgrade. Plus I'm traveling and I really wanted a new bag to travel around with. But what I'm going to start right now is actually a home project. We use electric toothbrushes and although they are very great for our dental hygiene, but our bathroom counters get kind of gross from our electric toothbrushes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make little towel mats for the toothbrushes to sit on, and I'm going to make multiples of them so we can change them out really frequently and wash them so that they don't get gross, because obviously I am worried about those getting yucky as well. So I just think if I make a few of them and we change them out regularly and wash them, it will keep our counters clean. For Christmas we got new towels, so I'm going to use some of our raggedy old ones. It's not going to be a very exciting project, but it is just amazing when you know how to sew, how many home and life problems can be solved because you have a sewing machine and you know how to use it. I made myself a little pattern to use. This is 3x5. Looking at it now, I kind of wonder if it needs to be a little bit bigger. I don't know, it's not like the base of the toothbrushes are that large. I've also never used terry cloth before. It's really hard to cut through. My fabric scissors can definitely use a sharpening, but that wasn't very easy. I'm not going to do two sides of terry cloth because that just seems really thick to me. I just grabbed some scrap cotton fabric and this is what we'll use. I definitely should have pinned this instead of used clips because there was a lot of shifting, but it's fine. I'm gonna cut off a lot of this excess though because I don't want it to be too bulky in there. And we're gonna cut the corners. There's one creator that I followed on TikTok and she pretty much uses only old towels. She makes matching outfit sets and tote bags and her work is awesome, but it is not easy working with this material. Maybe it's different when you're sewing together two towels instead of a towel and thin cotton fabric. This is either going to be just right or a little bit too small for both of our toothbrushes. I don't know. I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna top stitch it. I'm gonna move my needle over just a little bit. Let's go see if it's big enough. I didn't consider that it wouldn't be the most stable base, but I mean, it works and it's a decent size. I just think like we need to be careful about putting it on there, but I don't know. Gravity, I think it'll be fine. I'm working on some product tags right now that I can put on my items for the upcoming pop-up because I'm making some kitchen items like the pot holders and the hot pads. I just wanted to make sure that each item gets taken home with a little care card. So I'm basically just making that into the product tag. So it'll have the product type and the price of it, and then care instructions, and that it's made with 100% cotton and insulated batting, and then also a little do not microwave message at the bottom. But I think that this looks pretty good. I did ask my dad for his opinion. He's a graphic designer and he actually made my logo. So I do ask him his opinion on pretty much any design thing that I do. The only thing I'm a little bit skeptical about is the font choice. I wanted something a little bit playful, obviously not too playful where you can't read it. I feel like the font is really legible. I just don't know if it fully goes with the fonts used in my logo, but I don't think it doesn't go. I'm waiting for his opinion. We'll see what he says. Sometimes he is brutal. I'll let you know what he says. I got the feedback from my dad. He texted me that he loved it. And then I texted him back like, really? Like, you have no notes? And then he had notes. So he liked how this looked. I think he liked where it was going, but he definitely had notes. So if you remember, this is what I came up with. After going over the notes with him, I came up with this design. He wanted basically all of the product information on one side. He wanted the dollar sign a little bit smaller, and then to kind of move like the branding over to another side. And then he wanted to like expand the pink background. So this is what I came up with after talking to him about his notes, but I didn't like that there was so much blank space over here. So this is what he came up with. It is just awesome having a dad who's a graphic designer. So this is beautiful and I'm super happy with this. And now I just have to finish sewing everything up and figure out how much of everything I actually have and how many of these little cards I need to make. I'll be making the actual tags in my next vlog. But yeah, just wanted to show you the drafts and the final product of the tag. I've already filmed the clips that you're about to see. I filmed a little room tour for you guys. I spent all morning cleaning up my room. I did start it last night and I left myself a big mess, but this morning I got the job done and I finally have things organized the way that I would like it to be. And there's like different parts of my room that are finally like all one thing. Like I finally have all my packing materials and inventory in one space and it just makes a lot more sense. So I'm excited to share it with you guys. I definitely did not intend on doing a little room tour for this vlog, but it just worked out that way. And I am someone who is so messy and changes things up really frequently, changes up like organization. So I thought it would just be a cool idea to document how everything is looking right now in the beginning of the year. I have like really old room tours on my channel from like when I lived at my parents' house, and I just like love being able to look back on those things. But yeah, I already filmed the room tour this morning. I just didn't show myself because I was still in my pajamas. I am also wearing the same outfit that I wore yesterday. I just put it back on because I didn't end up leaving the house. I feel like in the wintertime, I do so much more laundry, which is weird because in the summertime, like you would think like you're doing a lot more, you're sweating, but in the wintertime, all the clothing is just so much bigger. So I feel like the laundry is endless. And yeah, I just didn't want to contribute to the laundry. This is my dog Rudy, by the way. Rudy's blind. Yeah, if he's not looking at you, that's why. He is my little baby boy though. He's our only boy dog. We have Wilma and we have Molly, and Rudy's our little baby boy. Right, mister? Are you mommy's little baby boy? He's very cute. He's a very good boy. He has a couple of bad things that he does, but what little dogs like don't have a little badness in them. Because he is blind, he does get spooked very easily, but we accept it and we make sure that he knows that nothing is ever gonna hurt him because he's our little man and we will protect him from everything. Rudy is a rescue though. My mom's friend found him on Facebook. Somebody else found him out in like the woods and put on Facebook like, hey, if this is your dog, come pick him up or we're gonna bring him to the shelter. And these people that found Rudy, like I'm glad and thankful that they found Rudy, but they also left him outside like chained up with their bigger dog during like a tropical storm. We got him like over 2 years ago, so I don't think he's traumatized from it anymore, but he was so scared when we got him because my mom and my mom's friend, they're very involved in rescues and everything. They were able to get a rescue to sponsor him, and Justin and I fostered him and we decided to adopt him. As soon as my mom said that her friend Michelle found a Chihuahua, I knew that we had to have him because I love little dogs. Justin loves little dogs. We specifically love our Chihuahuas because he is blind and he came to us in such bad shape. And like Rudy is considered a lavender chi, like his coloring is lavender. It's diluted alopecia. We thought he was old. Like, we thought we were fostering a senior dog. This man is 2. He's gonna live forever. We're gonna be like 45 and still have Rudy. Doesn't he look like a little teddy bear? And people are always like, is he really blind? Like, he doesn't act blind. And I always think that's the rudest thing. And then they're always like, well, he must be able to see a little bit. I'm like, yeah, most of the time people who are blind and animals that are blind can like see light and stuff, can like see, like make out shapes or like make out shadows or something, but like he can't barely see. He bumps into things all the time. He surely is blind, and I do think it's very rude when people are like, well, he's not that blind, he doesn't look blind. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Anyway though, yes, room tour is coming up. I'm actually headed out soon to pet sit for a family friend, so I'm actually packing up my sewing machine and everything, and I'm going to do some sewing while I'm over there. I plan on actually showing you guys what I pack with me when I travel with my sewing machine. Really don't ever take it very far. And then tomorrow, I'm going to an amazing estate sale. I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for another sewing estate sale. They pop up every once in a while. And this one has so many things. Quilting cottons. This woman was a quilter. She has so many machines. She has so many notions. Thread. Quilts already sewn up. I cannot wait. But yeah, enough chatting. I'll see you for the room tour. And then after, I'm going to show you guys what I pack with me when I travel with my sewing machine. So this is my office. I have a lot of stuff. Especially when it comes to crafting, I find it very difficult to part ways with things because I just feel like there's always a possibility that I will need it. But I'm going to take you through my office and kind of where I have everything, what I have. This table I use to iron. I don't have a big foldable ironing board. Sometimes I do wish I had a bigger space to iron, but this is totally fine. This is a really cool June Taylor Quilters Cut and Press 2 mat. It has a cutting mat on the back of it, which is really convenient. I never use the cutting mat because I have a big one right there, but I use this to iron all my fabrics, and I got this at an estate sale for $10, which was really exciting. This is my iron. It's a recent upgrade. I got it for Christmas, and I very much love it. This corner is where I have mostly all of my packing materials, and I have like little bags if I do a pop-up. I have some of my inventory here, and I recently hung up a couple of things that are currently on my website right now. But yeah, this is kind of where I have like my packing materials and some of my inventory. I do sometimes foster kittens. I have not fostered kittens since opening ReSpun. No real reason. This is definitely a pet-friendly home. Like, my dogs are all up in this space. My mom runs a cat and kitten rescue, and sometimes I'll take kittens to foster for her, but she hasn't asked me in a long time. But yeah, that's why I have this big crate here. Moving on to my desk area, I got this huge Omni Grid mat on Facebook Marketplace. I'm pretty sure I got this, a big ruler, and a couple of other rulers too. I think I paid $40 for everything, which was a huge savings. And you know me, I like to get as much of my material secondhand as I can. And then I just have this little catch-all tray that gets super messy, but it is what it is. I'm a messy girl. I have a really difficult time cleaning up after myself, and I need spaces like this in my studio as kind of just a catch-all for random things, because otherwise it will be all over the place, and at least I can be all over the place in a contained area. This desk is actually from IKEA. This is kind of just like a tabletop that you can add to their Alex drawers. So that's what I have going on over here. If you didn't know this about me, I used to be a makeup addict. That was actually my whole channel, was makeup related stuff. And all of these Alex drawers used to be filled with makeup. Now it's just these drawers have makeup in it, and like, it is not cute and organized like it used to be. I mean, that's, you know, pretty cute, but yeah, these drawers have makeup in them, and that probably won't change. But these drawers over here are kind of just like regular desk drawers. I do have some like hair tools in one of them, but yeah, it's mainly just like electronics and desk stuff, like junk drawer stuff. a little bit of art supplies, but this is where I do all of my sewing. I have a Singer heavy duty, great machine. I haven't had like any problems with it. I do take care of it, so I do clean it. I need to clean it today actually. I can cut and sew and iron, and it's really convenient for me. This has been a great system. It works out really well. And I just kind of have this little sewing nook. This is a pegboard from IKEA that we've had for years, and I put it in here when I got into sewing to hold some of my sewing supplies. I do have this basket that I put some scraps in, and these are scraps that like I cannot sew with anymore. Like these little itty bitty tiny pieces that I can't sew with anymore, and I'll dump this every so often. Right here I have some projects I'm currently finishing up. I have a serger machine that I have not used yet. I'm very nervous to use it. I don't know. My sister got it for me, so I feel really bad for not using it yet, but it's very scary to me. And then this clear bin has a bunch of miscellaneous art supplies in it. This bag hanging up here are more projects that I need to finish. This is a little cork board. I have some of my keychains up here. I have a couple of unfinished projects here. These are things I'm making for myself. And then tucked into this corner is just some random things that I pretty much will use all the time when I'm sewing. It has some thread, bobbins, pins, clips, this little basket of like pens. I don't use like the books over here that often, but I have more pens and markers back here, and also a lint roller I will use pretty often when I'm sewing, honestly. It's good for picking up like thread and lint from your fabrics. Right in between my desk and my packing materials, I have this Alex drawer set. So I have some fusible interfacing in here. I have this basting spray, which I really like. The basting spray definitely comes in handy. I got 2 cans for Christmas. This drawer has some random hardware in it, like zipper pulls, stuff for keychains, random things in it. This drawer has some Velcro, some zippers, some elastic. This drawer is where I keep all of my binding. I also have some rickrack in here as well. Kind of like a little bit of a decorative drawer. I really like how this is all organized. And then this drawer has a bunch of my buttons. But up here I have some scrap fabric. This is a little bit different than the scrap fabric section that I'll show you. This fabric is like a little bit more neatly cut. I need to organize this a little bit better because there are random things in here at the moment, but pretty much all of these scraps are already cut into squares. Some 2x2, 4x4 a lot of, some 3x3. I have this small little desk drawer set that has some random things in it, lace and stuff. This is a super cute little cake trinket box that my fiance's sister made me for Christmas, and I keep my ReSpun labels in here. And then just some other little random things. Got this little tiny chihuahua beanie baby from an estate sale, and then this big paper clip also from an estate sale. It just like kind of looks cute like that, I think. Kind of right behind my desk I have my area of scrap fabric. This bin is full of scrap fabric. These 2 bags are full of scrap fabric. This fabric basket I made is full of lace, so not really scrap fabrics, but I just put it on top of another basket with more scrap fabric. I know some people can be super organized with their scrap fabrics. That is not me. I would love to be. Sometimes I consider organizing my scrap fabric, like dumping it all out and organizing it, but I just know I would give up, like not even halfway through. I feel like I would get like a quarter of the way through and just want to give up. And then this area right here is pretty much where I keep all of my fabric. This is a vintage rattan shelf that I got at a vintage store. It used to not hold my fabric, but when I got into sewing, I realized that this was the perfect place to keep all of it, and I recently organized my fabric collections. Up top is a bunch of large amounts of fabric that I have that I don't use super often, but I like don't have the heart to get rid of. It just lives up there. This is like where all my quilting cottons are. I do hang a lot of my zippers here. I have some upholstery fabric here, but also a lot of quilt batting. And then I have a lot of upholstery fabrics down at the bottom over here, mainly like upholstery swatches and scraps. Over here is more fabrics. A lot of my solids are over here. I have some quilt batting in this bin. This bin, I don't even want to open. I have no idea what's in it. I think it's just like a bunch of junk. Some fabrics over here that I'm currently working with that aren't ready to go back over here, and then I have some thread over here, and then like a little bag that I did some applique on, and it just has some random crafty items in there. But yeah, this is my little sewing area. I feel really good about where everything is at the moment. I feel like it kind of makes more sense. I figured I'd show you how I cleaned my sewing machine since I was already gonna do it anyway. Getting this little part out is my least favorite. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take my foot off too. I recently got a handheld vacuum and I haven't used it to clean my machine yet, but I think it will be pretty awesome. So let's try it. That got up a lot of stuff. I'm just gonna go through and clean out the rest with my spoolie, like a little lash spoolie. That's really stuffed. It's usually not that bad. But I'll be honest, it's been a long time since I've cleaned it. Not like that long. Like I do kind of do a subtle, quick little cleaning and oil my machine periodically. Some people, I mean, I don't know. If you're that person, let me know. I feel like I don't really believe that like there's that many people out there that actually clean their machine after every project. How could you? But I kind of go through the machine and like twist the spoolie around. You want to do a bit of churning to make sure that you get everything. And last, I'm just going to do a couple of drops of oil. Oops, that didn't really get in. Taking a small amount of the paper towel and just dabbing it. I like to kind of just get it started a little bit with my fingers so that when I go in with this, it's a little bit more stable. It's already a little bit challenging for me to do this, but it's extra challenging with the camera in the way. And I just like to make sure like it's in a good position. I noticed that when my little bobbin case isn't able to move around just slightly, then that's when kind of issues arise. So I just kind of make sure that it's in a good spot and my bobbin case is allowed to like move just slightly. It's good. It sounds good. Put this back on. I also see some people who are like surprised when they find out that they have to clean their sewing machines, which is very interesting because like how long have you been sewing without cleaning your machine? I would love to see what it looked like inside. I just imagine it would be very satisfying to clean. I'm also putting a new needle in. If you ever have a difficult time getting your thread through the needle, I don't know how to use a needle threader. I've never tried it before, but you can cut your thread at an angle and it helps it because it makes the tip kind of skinny. It helps it go through really easily. Just gonna catch the bobbin thread and my machine is all ready to go. It's 8:15 and I'm waiting outside of that estate sale that I talked about yesterday. I got here 10 minutes after they put the sign-up sheet out and I thought I was 5th in line, but there was a whole other back sheet. So I am 43rd. I just get anxious for these types of sales that I like really am excited about, that have a lot of things that I want, because I'm worried I'm not going to get what I want. And I'm worried that everyone here wants what I want. I have about 40 minutes until the sale starts. I brought my laptop to do a little bit of work, and I also brought my Kindle to maybe do a little bit of reading. I am so happy that I'm back into reading now. Last year was not my year for reading, but I did discover sewing last year, and you can't read and sew at the same time. Once in a while last year, I would listen to an audiobook while I sewed, but that was difficult because I don't wear headphones. I just don't like being like trapped in sound and not being able to hear everything that goes on around me. Yeah, I could wear headphones. Maybe I just need to get over that, because it would be fine to listen to audiobooks when I'm like ironing and cutting, cleaning my room up, but when I'm actually sewing and the machine is going, the machine is so loud. But I'll leave a link to my Goodreads in the description, because I read on my Kindle. It does update automatically on like what I'm reading, so you can see what I'm reading. I'd love to see what you're reading as well. I get a lot of book recommendations from Goodreads and like what other people are reading. But yeah, I need to do a little bit of work before I go in, and hopefully I can do a little bit of reading as well. And I don't know if I'll take you guys inside of the estate sale, because I just like really want to be laser focused on getting what I need. I'll maybe take some clips when I'm done shopping, and I'll definitely show you guys what I get, of course. I made it back home. Before I throw all this fabric in the wash, I wanted to show you guys what I got. Obviously, I left very happy. Even though I was 43rd in line, I still feel like I got everything that I would have wanted. I did see somebody leave with a lot of eyelet fabric that I did not see, so that was a little bit of a bummer, but there will be other eyelet fabrics in the future. I did get some amazing stuff though. I don't even know where to start. One of the very exciting things that I found there was this cat upholstery fabric. This fabric I found at another estate sale once, and I pretty much used it all up to make these cat stockings last year. And when I saw more of it at this estate sale, it was an instant grab. And right by this cat fabric was this dog fabric, this dog upholstery fabric. The material on this one is like a little bit thicker even. This is amazing. Imagine having like a couch lined with this. This is crazy. I'm just thinking about the tote bags that I can make with this though. This is awesome. I got one more upholstery fabric print, this beautiful floral print. Just thought that the colors in this, like the pastels, is stunning. And yeah, but other than that, pretty much everything else is quilting cotton. I got some solid prints, yellow, green, a denim, light blue, navy, and this really nice like thicker maroon material. All of these are good for things like lining and straps in my tote bags, and I feel like you can never have enough solid prints, especially because when I do use my solids, it is for lining tote bags, so I end up using a lot of it at once. I kind of wish that there were more colors, but there weren't that many solid prints, or maybe I didn't get to them soon enough. This sale had a lot of what I would call filler fabrics. In a lot of my patchwork designs, it's really obvious like what fabric the whole design is kind of based around. This strawberry fabric inspired the whole patchwork here, but filler fabrics are just as important to me because I obviously end up using like a lot more of them within the patchwork, and I really need to have a good variety in order to inspire designs for the kind of theme of the bag. I ended up getting a lot of striped fabric, which I've been thinking I needed more of, especially red stripes. I'm actually thrilled that I found this red fabric, because imagine this red as the lining to the strawberry tote. It's gonna be so good. I'm gonna definitely use that. By the way, all of the folded fabric was $3. There was some folded fabric where it was a really small amount, but then there was some fabric where it was a really large amount. I feel like it ended up balancing everything out, and $3 is not that much. If I'm shopping on eBay, I end up paying way more for a significantly smaller amount of fabric. So I am just so happy. I feel like I hit the jackpot. I got a really cute variety of heart print fabric. I feel like these could be really sweet together. It's like an all over whites and red one, and then this green one with mini pink and white hearts. All of these fabrics are like truly vintage, like Concord, Cranston, Marcus Brothers. It's very exciting. Along with the hearts, I also got this adorable little bear print fabric. Like, this is so sweet. I really need to get my labels back because I want to make some stuff so bad. Like, this is so cute, and I have a lot of it. I'm pretty sure this is between 2 and 3 yards. I don't know that you'll be able to tell on camera, but this stack is sort of a mix of like off-white prints. Maybe you'll be able to see if the light catches it, but there's just subtle, you'll definitely be able to tell with this one, just like subtle little white floral prints on it. And these are particularly exciting because I want to come out with bridal themed tote bags. I'm getting married in April, and I want to make one for myself, like a bridal themed tote bag, but I also want to make one or two to sell. I'm blanking on the name for this, but it's kind of this like textured cotton. But yeah, I got a good bit of this, and I also got a good bit of this blue floral flannel fabric. This would be so cute and cozy for like pajama shorts. I really want to get into making clothes. I need to do that this year really bad. And then lastly, I got this big stack of vintage floral fabrics. This is super duper exciting. I felt like too, like I could easily go into something like this and just get everything, like buy up everything. I did find myself really trying to be thoughtful with like what I actually use, the prints I actually like, what I actually need. And I found myself putting a lot of stuff back, which was good. This stack is so exciting. I just love these little tiny floral prints. I'm gonna need to do a lot of projects with this blue one because I have so much of it. I love this one, this green on green floral. This is stunning. I've been really wanting more yellow in my collection. I've been needing more orange. I find it very difficult to find orange fabric for some reason, like cute orange fabric. This is what I mean by getting new fabric just sparks so much inspiration from me. These two fabrics I already had in my collection. How beautiful would a patchwork tote be with these fabrics? I also got this bag of ribbon that I haven't gone through. I love the lace that you can thread a ribbon through, and just having a variety of colors is definitely a good thing. There's this like pearl string. Everything I got, so like all of this fabric, all of this fabric, and this upholstery fabric, and the ribbon, I spent $109. I wasn't entirely sure what to expect. I kind of felt like I would spend around that, maybe even more, so $109 was not bad for me. A lot of the women that were looking through the fabrics were complaining about it being $3 for all of the folded fabric because some of the amounts were so small. But like I said, some of the folded fabric amounts were really large, so I just feel like it all balanced each other out, and overall I got a really good deal. I've never bought new fabric before, so I don't have that experience. I don't really have a good idea of how much all of this fabric would cost new, but if you have an estimate or something, I'd love to know your thoughts. Now I'm going to wash all of it. I pre-wash all of my secondhand fabric on a cold cycle with laundry detergent and OxiClean, and I'll typically do like colors. Sometimes I don't bother if it's like a smaller amount, and depending on what the fabric is, I sometimes will do a gentle cycle, but because all of this is quilting cotton, or most of it is, I probably will just wash it as regular, and then I'll wash all of the upholstery fabric on its own, probably on a gentle cycle. I might even put those in laundry bags because they fray really easily. Because all of my fabric is secondhand and vintage, I don't ever really worry that much about throwing it in the wash because I feel like I have to do it anyway, and if it gets destroyed in the wash, it kind of is what it is. But I don't know that I've ever had a problem with fabric getting destroyed in the wash. Actually, I had a problem once with some upholstery fabric that got really linty in the wash, or like linty in the dryer. But yeah, I'm not gonna take the time to hand wash any of this stuff. So if it survives in the wash, that is great. If it does not, it's all right. I'm back at the house that I'm pet sitting at, and I want to show you everything that I brought. Yesterday when I did my room tour and I showed my cut and press board, I realized that this is like the perfect sewing travel accessory because you don't need to travel with an ironing board and a cutting mat. It's a cutting mat and an ironing board in one. So I brought this with me, and I also brought my iron. They do have this same exact iron actually, but last time I used theirs, Captain, just sit and stay. I don't want the licks. Last time I used theirs though, it stressed me out because this is like a really nice iron, and yeah, I just chose to bring my own this time. Next, I brought my Madame Sew project bag, and this has all of the projects that I'm currently working on that I need to finish while I'm here. And it's just a bunch of the pot holders that I need to finish, and then also some coasters. Before I left, I clipped and pinned all of the pot holders so that I could just sew them up and so that they would travel really easily. And then, of course, I brought my sewing machine. I have this travel case that I got when I got my sewing machine. Justin's parents got me the sewing machine, and then his grandmother got me the traveling case. And this travel case is really awesome. Let me just show you. I'm pretty sure it's just from Amazon, so it would be really easy to look up if you happen to want the same one. But it has a ton of pockets. I also brought my little mini vacuum because it can be so messy sewing and I never want to leave a mess, of course. I also brought my small ruler, but this has just like a ton of pockets. I also brought another little project. I'm going to turn this into a wallet. I made this wallet for myself the other day and I love it. I love the size of it, but I have since thought of ways to improve upon it, and I wanted to make myself another wallet to go with my strawberry tote bag. So I just brought these to quilt while I'm here. But yeah, the whole thing just has a ton of pockets. There's more pockets over here. I didn't want to hold my camera anymore, so I just set you guys back up. In one of the side pockets, I brought my rotary cutter, a pair of fabric scissors, and my little clippers. I want to make an additional little sleeve for these clippers because this part worries me. I feel like it could be a little bit dangerous, or like if it's in something that's fabric in a little bag or something that I've made, I feel like it could probably like cut it or like snag a little hole. I brought the container that my clips came in just so that I have a spot to put them when I'm all finished sewing these up. I brought my sewing machine, of course. Also, when I travel with my sewing machine, I make sure to turn the needle all the way inside of the machine just so that the needle can be protected. It's not gonna snag on anything. It's also a brand new needle, and yeah, I just didn't want anything to happen to it. So I turned the needle all the way inside of the machine. You could also opt to not have a needle in your machine when you're traveling with it, but I had just put the needle in, so it was just gonna stay. I brought the presser foot, of course, and then I packed myself a little zipper pouch. I brought some extra pins. I brought a fabric pen. This fabric pen is awesome. The ones that go away with heat, like the markings go away with heat, those worry me because I have seen that they obviously will come back when it's cold. It doesn't get that cold in Charlotte, but it gets cold enough. Like, it was really cold this morning and I would not ever want the markings that I've made to come back on a project. So this is a water-soluble fabric ink pen, and it's actually shocking how quickly the markings from this pen disappear with just a little bit of water. This wallet that I made was covered with these pen markings, and I literally just wet my fingers and like rubbed it away. Yeah, this pen works so well. I brought my seam ripper. This is a really nice one that I got from Madame Sew. I brought 100% cotton thread for my pot holders that I'm making. I don't think that this is technically a hair marker. I don't know, I could be wrong. I got it at an estate sale and it looked like a hair marker to me, or it just looked like the kind of thing that people use to like mark quilting lines and also pop out the corners. That's exactly what I use this for, and it works great, but I just brought it because I will be popping out some corners. And then I prepped ahead all of the cotton rope loops that I need for my pot holders. That is everything that I brought. So really just like the regular tools that I use every single time I sew, this incredibly convenient and nifty cutting mat and ironing board in one, my iron, a small ruler, extra thread, my pen, sewing machine, obviously. This isn't totally necessary, but it is very convenient and it fit in the little sewing machine travel case, so why not? And really just my biggest tip if you are going to travel with your sewing machine is to prep your project ahead of time. So I didn't have to travel with all of the fabric and all of the batting and have to cut it out here and put it together. It was already cut out and put together, clipped together, and all I need to do is sew it up. The last time I pet sat for this family friend, I did bring a bunch of stuff. I brought so much fabric. I brought my big cutting mat. I brought tons of stuff, and I was here for a long time. I think I was here for like 10 days or something, and I just brought so many things, and I did all of the prep work here and the sewing here. And it was fine because I was here for so long, but I also made a mess of their office. And it was obviously all clean and taken care of before they got home. Like, you would have never known that I made a big old mess in here, but I did, and I just didn't want to do that this time. So I made sure to pack light, only pack the essentials, and have my projects all ready to go and prepped so that I just need to sew. I think that this video is going to be pretty long between my room tour, that fabric haul, and also me showing my sewing travel essentials. So I am going to end the vlog here. Next weekend I will be in New York visiting my sister, and we are going to be doing a pop-up together. We're going to be at Larry's Cafe in Brooklyn. I'm going to be selling all of the pot holders that I make, a couple of other items as well, and she's going to be selling her baked goods. We're doing the pop-up Sunday, February 2nd between 12 and 2. So if you live in the city or it's easy for you to travel over there, I would love for you to come out and see us. If you like this vlog, I would love for you to give this video a little thumbs up. Check out some of my other sewing vlogs as well. I also recently posted a sewing tag video where I answered a bunch of questions related to sewing. It's like those old YouTube tag videos that used to be really popular. I decided to bring that back for a video. But yeah, that is going to be it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you aren't already subscribed, definitely go ahead and do so, and hopefully I will see you next time.